Hello, good morning, and welcome to Maritime Africa Live, our weekly program dedicated to discuss about current issues in the maritime sector in Africa. Today, for our first edition, we are we have a guest who is Mr. Bem Ibrahim Gaba. Mr. Bem, good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Carlos. How are you?
Okay, cool. I hope you are fine and you are ready to share your view about maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea with us and our viewers.
I'm very well, thank you, and I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Just to adjust some things, we'll be back in, let's say, in 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, see you then.
See you.
Hello, welcome back, dear viewers, to the first edition of Maritime Africa Live. We are with Mr. Gaba. Mr. Gaba.
Good morning.
Mr. Gaba?
Good
Okay,
morning.
good morning. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, so, yes. Hey, can you briefly introduce yourself to our dear viewers, Mr. Gaba?
Okay, so my name is Bem Garba. I am the current chief executive of the GOG Marine Nigeria Limited, which is basically a ship agency, freight and maritime security company working out of Nigeria.
Mr. Gaba, can you raise a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit your voice? I'm not hearing you very well.
Okay, so I said basically my name is Bem Garba. I'm currently the chief
Yeah?
executive of GOG Marine, which is a maritime security, ship agency, and freight logistics company working out of Nigeria with offices in the UK.
Okay. Thank you very much for this introduction. Just by curiosity, why have you chosen to work in the maritime sector? Was it a dream when you were a child?
I've always loved the ocean. I've always been fascinated by the ocean, the possibilities it holds, the rich, vast extents of resources that the ocean has to offer us. So, and as I grew older, I started to realize that we may never really be able to fully take advantage of all the blessings that the ocean and the bodies of water bring to us as humans. But I've also seen the need to protect this God-given asset, and these are some of the reasons why I've picked an interest in the ocean and shipping.
Mr. Gaba?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Okay, so for how long have you been operating in the sector?
So we've been active in the sector since 2014.
2014.
Yes.
Okay. I can hear very well. Okay, so since 2014, you have been operating as the MD and the CEO of GOG Marine Limited.
Yes.
Okay,
Since 2014.
and you said that your services are you are into maritime security.
Yes. Maritime security,
Okay,
ship agency,
ship. Okay,
and maritime
okay,
logistics support services.
okay. Cool. So, tell me, how is maritime piracy uh, affecting your work?
Okay, so from a professional perspective, we find that the clients we support are greatly affected by this, and this has a strong impact on global trade and international shipping community. As a country, Nigeria is heavily dependent on a lot of imported products. A reasonable percentage of our energy requirements are imported. A lot of the medicine we consume is imported. The food, the building materials, technology, All these things are supported by uh, um, ocean trade. So when we start to find ourselves in a situation where the vessels that and the supply chain uh, players who are responsible for bringing these goods to our markets become uncomfortable, then we start to have a negative general impact. There's the impact on insurance. There's the impact on the lives of the seafarers. It's a big challenge, and the scope of the problem is really difficult to put together in one conversation.
We are facing some challenges with the connection again. Okay, Mr. Ben?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So it does affect us greatly. We're a company that's very customer oriented. We care a lot about the ship owners, the ship management companies, the cargo owners, and the seafarers, and basically the people who work in the industry that supports the global supply chain. And being that kind of company that is sensitive to the needs of these individuals, we worry about their concerns for their safety whenever they have to come to the Gulf of Guinea for business or work.
Mr. Ben,
Did you get me?
yeah. Okay, Mr. Ben,
I'm here.
I think he's having. Okay, cool. So we can see that your day-to-day activities have been affected. Is being affected. Is affected by maritime piracy. So let's get to the causes of the maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea, especially in Nigeria. What are the causes
Okay, so
according to you?
I, being a security professional, I'm tempted to lean along the lines of short to medium term solutions, but along the lines of short to medium term solutions. But I also have I've had the opportunity to interact with a number of stakeholders from these coastal communities, and what I find is a general sense uh, of unhappiness. Many of these people feel generally exploited. Um, they feel that there's so much pressure on their resources. This is a very rich, uh, resource-rich region within the entire West African coastal region. Now, what they see is that um, international oil and gas is very active in the region. Um, International shipping is active in the region, but unfortunately, this is one of the most underdeveloped parts of the country. The Niger Delta is so the indigens know that they're resource rich. They know that their resources fund the a lot of the development, that a significant amount of the development that goes on in Nigeria. But they don't see these developments in their backyards. So there's that general feeling of being
Okay.
exploited by their own country and the international community. And like in many parts of the world, history has taught us that when people feel this way, they tend to agitate, and the forms of agitation are may vary from one region to, or one country to the other. Imagine
That's it.
when imagine prehistoric America when you had the Red Indians. These people were the owners of the land, and then we had foreign the British and foreign the Dutch and other people coming into to America and discovering America and developing it and leaving these people behind. And and we saw agitations at that point. And if you look in history, you will find that this has always happened. So this is a modern day reaction to an overexploitation of a people and their sensitivities and their resources.
Okay. So Mr. Ben, are you saying that if this problem is properly faced, okay, there will not be any more maritime piracy in Nigeria?
If this problem is properly faced, we will see a very sharp reduction,
Yeah.
a very significant reduction, because these pirates are also human beings. These actions are based on frustrations and search for a livelihood. I mean, these people are living in extreme poverty. So
Yeah.
this is for them the only way out that they can think of. If alternative options are available to them, then it's only natural that we will be justified to it's only natural that we will see a sharp change in their orientation towards this type of work and business.
Okay. Okay, but according to you, why are the authorities have not been able to properly face this problem since the maritime piracy is since illegal maritime what should I, how should I say it since pirates have been operating in Nigeria, why is the authorities have not been able to properly face the problem?
Okay, so there's been um, this is a tough question. There's been a lot of effort. Uh, Unfortunately, I would not. I would say that I do not believe that the effort has been as coordinated as it should be. But in the recent times, we've seen a lot of effort from the NIMASA, from the federal government. We've seen a lot of effort. We've seen a lot of talk about what should be done, and the things that are being said sound reasonable if adequately implemented. So we're sincerely hoping that um, efforts will the talks will be implemented, and then the efforts would include active dialogue with the host communities, because these pirates come from communities, and um, the beauty of the African community is that these communities have existed for a very long time, and they have their own ways of dealing with their own issues. So if their children are causing problems for them that affect their own development, they know how to resolve these issues. I mean, their cultural ways and traditional ways of solving such problems. But we need to meet these communities halfway. All the stakeholders need to talk more to the government, and get the government to talk more to these communities and be sincere in our approach to helping these communities uh, stand on their own feet.
Okay, and then as you're saying this, what do you think about all the institutions which are trying to tackle the 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 maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea by asking for more military actions?
So military actions are necessary in the short to medium term, um,
Okay.
because improving the relationships between the stakeholders and the host communities is an effort that will take time. There's a lot of mistrust already. There's a lot of mistrust already existing between all stakeholders and the communities. So uh, channels of communication need to be reopened. Um, Holistic interactions and engagements need to take place, and these communities need to begin to see the sincerity of purpose in the approach to finding a long-term sustainable solution to these problems and the issues that as they concern them. Um, so the call for military and naval the call for a military and naval approach to these problems are necessary and timely in the meantime. But it is important to for us to understand that these efforts, these measures cost money. Um, they cost a lot of money to have foreign navies patrolling the Gulf of Guinea. They cost a lot of money to governments, to shipping companies, insurance. I mean, there's a lot of money involved in this, and these costs need to be reduced. Now, imagine if these monies were redirected towards uh, holistic efforts that would promote coastal tourism, create jobs. If instead of paying so much money to navies to patrol the area on a daily basis, if that type of money was invested in training children from the Gulf of Guinea as seafarers, and then international shipping was to consider some of these cadets on their merits and the quality of their capabilities to serve the global shipping industry, it would these people would have a reason to understand, and then the cost would naturally come to a minimum, to a basic minimum. We really cannot continue on a long term to sustain that type of investments that is required to keep foreign navies and in the Gulf of Guinea.
Okay. So for you, there should be the military actions should be combined with taking care of the frustration of the population. Is that it?
Exactly, that is it.
Okay. So what are the potential solutions, according to you, to really tackle the frustration of the population, to deal with the population so that they don't feel exploited anymore?
Okay,
Have you got
so
some?
yeah, there are many. We have a number of ideas that we think are potent and relevant. For instance, we should first look at the structure of these communities. These communities have structures that govern them in terms of the way they live socially, and their religious beliefs. It is important for the governments that the national governments and the state governments and the regional governments to begin to dialogue with community leaders, both religious and cultural, and those in politics as well, and start to inquire. Yes, we know that you have been through some challenges in the past, but how can we make this better? Um, we will work with the oil and gas industry to improve the the issues with around contamination of the water, so these people can fish and farm. We need to improve the quality of the environment. The degradation is such that it has to be. We need to work on reversing it as much as possible, and then we need to tackle things like uh, illegal fishing, just so that there's the fish available for fishing by these fishermen is increased and improved, and these people are able to make money or make a living from work as fishermen. Then we need to think about education. Many of these kids are educated. Many of these individuals are very reasonably educated, and they're capable of taking advantage of any quality of education you expose them to. But they've not had these opportunities, so we need to improve their opportunities to very good quality education. We need to make the environment conducive for coastal tourism, which will now create uh, uh, employment opportunities for people in the hospitality industry, like those working in hotels that will service the coastal tourism industry. Um, that region is a region where people, if we had cruises, I mean, post after COVID, you could easily start up businesses doing cruises if the environment was suitable enough. These cruises, when people travel like that, they need to be supported by local staff and local support. And these people have these capabilities. They need infrastructure like better drinking water. Um, I mean, there's a whole range of things that can be done, and it's not that hard. And when you think of the economics of keeping foreign navies in the Gulf of Guinea for 1 year versus redirecting these types of funds towards development, you will find that investing in a more sustainable community effort would make more sense from an economic perspective.
Okay. So, Mr. Ben, among all those solutions that you are proposing, have some of them been implemented already, or
I mean, I know there's been efforts. I could tell you that I am aware of a number of efforts, but for some funny reasons, these efforts don't seem to have been um, adequately implemented because we're not seeing the results. I think the reciprocal results, or yes, the reciprocal results should be measured with commensurate to the effort that's been made, and that's not happening. So there's an implementation problem. Some and there's serious implementation problems.
okay? So you are saying that the solutions are known, but the problem is how to implement them effectively. Is
Yes,
that is that really the problem now?
yes. Many of the solutions are known. Many of the solutions are known.
Okay.
Um, yes,
Mhm.
and those that are known, to the best of my knowledge, need to be better implemented.
Okay. So now, in an article that we published in our on our website, the human side of maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea, you talk about your view about the fact that um, they should think more of the foreign government, the shipping companies, and other stakeholders should think more of human solution than military solution.
Yes,
Okay, and uh, y- are you saying that they are only thinking about military, and they are not aware of the other side of the problem, of the real causes? According to you,
I
are
would,
they aware of the real causes?
from interactions that I have personally had with a number of stakeholders, I think I believe strongly that there's a heightened awareness, a very strong awareness about the entire scope of the issue. But I have also seen that many of the stakeholders tend to want to think more about the interest of the how to protect their own businesses. They think about it more from the business side of it, strictly numbers. Um, we are a foreign country. We have a strong foreign merchant fleet. Um, the business of our fleet and the seafarers that work for our fleet is threatened by this issue. Um, we want to give them instant protection. You know, that is the sense I get
Okay.
from many of the ship owner that's the western side, the European and the Western approach.
Okay.
Um, so
Okay.
this call is very economic and business like in its interests.
Okay. So can we say that it's up to the national government to African to tackle the real causes and let
That's
the foreigners we let them taking care of the military side of the problem of the solution.
that is the way that many of the people I've spoken to currently look at it. But there's plenty of room for them to go beyond that point. Um, Rather than making a strong call for naval military intervention, I would love to see a situation where a call that includes military intervention is made, and then that call is further expanded to the coastal governments, to the Gulf state governments, to say, listen, you all have a responsibility to meet us halfway. Um, how can we work together to help you where you're lacking to meet these responsibilities? Um, this is the impact. This is the overall impact this challenge has on all of us. So why don't we look at it together rather than saying Gulf state governments, you do this and we do that.
Okay. So actually, do you think there's a way of doing it, or have you thought of possible way to get it to let them know your view about the solution about the problem? Apart from the article, have you thought of other action in order to make your view be known by them?
Yes, we're currently working on the establishment of a civil society network, which will cut across which will cut across uh, uh, Gulf states and the stakeholders within the global shipping community, ship owners, um, ship owners, ship management companies, foreign governments. This initiative was brought about by last week's incident on the NV
Mozart.
Mozart. Yes,
Mozart. Mhm.
yes, MV Mozart. That was very unfortunate and very embarrassing. I for me that was something that personally kept me awake for some time. I it felt like the last straw for me to a wake up call that we need to stop talking about this problem. It doesn't have to get to this extent. And from a security perspective, I have seen I have seen situations like this escalate to unmanageable scopes. Um, we
Okay.
must not let it get to that. We saw it with the with the terrorism situation in the northeast of Nigeria with the Boko Haram. Um, when that issue, when those problems, when that problem started, it was treated and looked at like this, and we started to see one incident to the other, and it wasn't dealt with in a manner that it could have been dealt with. So it wasn't nipped in the bud. So there's a need to learn from that particular experience and adapt adapt those experiences to the situation here. This situation in the Gulf of Guinea
Okay.
can very easily get out of hand. These guys are capable, and as long as they are encouraged or neglected, they will continue to be brazen.
Okay. Okay. So I think we can have some question from the viewers. We have Richard Bonsu who said most carriers are facing this bigger problem from Nigeria waters, and what is the country and Africa at large doing to support this pirate challenge? And I think it's not so that a question. And we have Siraj Burnley Enokenwa. I believe in collaborative efforts between member states in GOG. Okay,
That
thank
is
you for
very
your
important.
comments.
Yeah.
So, so if our viewers have some question to ask Mr. Gaba, they can go on. But while we are waiting, we can still continue. Siraj Burney says again, the 2013 Yaoundé Convention made room for MOU between civil societies within member states, but this has not happened. How to do we solve this? Because I believe these organizations can handle this. Okay, Mr. Gaba,
Yeah.
how can we solve it?
So I think there's a need to revisit the outcome of that convention, just to review it and pick it up from where it stopped. Um, these societies are very potent stakeholders. Their capabilities can be very effective if properly and sincerely harnessed. So I agree with the the this with the Mr. Ekon Enokenwa on this. We need to figure out a way to work with this. No need to reinvent the wheel if
Okay,
it's already been done.
okay, but personally, I think that it will be very good if the Yaoundé Convention could 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 be a point where all the solution can be conveyed, so that the collaboration which you're talking about between foreigners and the local government and the society could be made. What do you think about it? It's just a
That
personal view.
it's a brilliant view. Um, and it will definitely help. In no small measure, it will help, in my opinion.
Okay, so I think we are finishing with this program. Mr. Gaba, have you got some other things to say about the human side of maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea to sum up?
For me, the most important thing would be that the call made by all the stakeholders, including especially the foreign governments, because they have um, their voices are loud enough to be to be very clear, and they have the tools of state and the diplomatic and international tools to help the Gulf state governments to understand the impact of neglecting this issues. I mean, I really just want to call on the international governments, the foreign ship owners, to consider that these people are the pirates are also victims of a certain kind of problem here. They the reactions are an agitation. They're not as criminally motivated as it looks on the surface. It is a survival mechanism, and it needs to be dealt with as a survival problem, as a problem that has roots. And empathy from leaders, local and foreign, must be called on. We need to find a way to bring this up and take this dialogue to the next level.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me see if there is other questions. No, no, we don't have other question. So, Mr. Gaba, thank you very much for accepting. Okay, I think we have another comment from Mr. Richard Bonsu. He said, I believe African leaders must be on top of these situations and must, in the short term, empower their navy and security agencies to keep a close eye in the region. As Mr. Gaba said, those regions doing the pirates action must be engaged in one way or the other so they're able to get something doing. That's right. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Bonsu.
you, Mr. Richard.
Mr. Gaba,
Yes, Mr. Carlos.
Mr. Gaba, thank you very much for making
Thank you.
time to share your view about maritime piracy. Thank you to all the viewers. Thanks to all those people who comment, who send their question. I think we are done with this program, and see you next time. Bye, Mr. Gaba.
Bye bye to everybody. Bye bye, Mr. Carlos, and thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, so for all those who are following this, you can read the article of Mr. Gaba on the human side of maritime piracy in the Gulf of Guinea on www.maritimafrica.com. Thank you, and see you next Saturday for another edition of Maritime Africa Live.
Bye bye. Bye bye.